It's working. I don't know what I did this morning. My tea is still like 900 degrees. It's still way too hot. I can't even drink it.
We are. This is summertime, right?
It is summertime. Rob has declared to me in the parking lot today that he's going to wear shorts until winter.
I'm full on shorts at this point.
The weekend was absolutely fantastic, especially yesterday. The weather was just 74, 75. Yep. We were out at the Skeeters baseball game. It was fantastic. Other fun news for the weekend. If you want some hilarious reading, read what's going on over at Tesla right now. I think it is so funny. So evidently there are some people that are using the autopilot in a fashion in which Tesla did not anticipate, and the responses from Elon Musk are hilarious. So just Google that. Well, actually, you can Google that, but probably not from your work computer. I'll just tell you that right now. Good. Not safe for work. Let's just say that. But pretty funny to see some of the stuff that he's writing out there. Well, today is Motivation Monday, and I had this thought over the weekend, and I'm just going to introduce to the show, and then we'll talk about some other stuff here later on the show today for Motivation Monday. What if it's all true? That's the theme for today.
All of it?
All of it's true.
All of it.
All of it's true. And let me explain what all of it being true means. If you guys listen to blogs or read blogs and listen to podcasts and listen to all the shows that are on this radio station, they're all investment related, business related. Let's just say for a second, let's break down the wall, remove the veil, and just call all of the stuff you listen to, let's say it all works. Mm-hmm. So you guys are going to listen to our show. The next show after ours is the Trading Academy guys, right? So they talk about how to trade stocks and bonds and whatever other nonsense they're into. And the show after that's a real estate show. Let's assume whatever they're talking about today is completely true and it works 100% of the time. And then I don't know what the show is after that, but I know there's an apartment guy. If you guys are familiar with Dell, he's got his own show. There's another apartment person has a show on like Fridays. There's what else is there on this station? What am I missing? There's the apartment guys. There's the day trading guys. There's the single family.
There's a medical dude in there somewhere, right?
Yeah, there's a medical guy. I guess you call in and he'll fix you up. Is that what it does? Fix you up on the show? So let's just assume all of this stuff works and all of it's true.
Including breaking into spontaneous dance and song on the Bollywood.
Oh, that's right, yeah. This is what's known as a daytimer station. So it turns into a Bollywood station after dark.
I love it.
Which is kind of funny when you're in your car and I forget to. It's like 6 o'clock, right? And I turn it on. I'm like, what is going on
so
here?
Great. I love it.
And so let's assume everything you read and everything you hear about investing and entrepreneurship is true.
Just on this station or just in
I
general?
want to say in the universe.
In the
all
universe.
True. You should invest in Bitcoin because it's now going up.
I would do Bitcoin for sure.
You should day trade. Because clearly you're much smarter than the guys at Goldman and Morgan. But I don't want to get into that right now. I don't want to break it down. I want to say it's all true. Oh, it's all going to work.
You're already stomping my drink.
I know. Sorry. So let's say
Motivation Monday.
I know it's Motivation Monday. So let's say it's all true and it all works. How do you decide which of those things you're going to do?
Oof. Good question.
Now there's a real challenge. How do you decide? It's all true. It all works. Everything you hear, everything you read, from wholesaling to flipping to garage sale arbitrage, like all that stuff works. Everything works. What are you going to pick?
Trading the Pikachu cards.
I saw a Gary Vaynerchuk video came up last night when I was on Facebook, and he was doing the garage sale arbitrage thing. Right. I think it's absolutely hilarious. It works, but so let's assume it
MLM, that works too, right? Yeah, all that stuff works.
Network marketing, multi-level marketing, it all works.
Can really buy the Mercedes and all that stuff selling.
Fake it till you make it.
Potions and lotions.
Potions and lotions in your fancy blue suit, right? Yeah. There I am on my big Mercedes.
Well, I mean, let's think how we come at this. Do we come at this from like a sort of Tim Ferriss, where the least amount of effort for maximum gains, and there's a sort of plateau level? Do you just hit that peak and then just put in those 4 hours a week and make your fortune? Do you come from it from play to your strengths, right? Do you come from it from all these personal coaches where you want to become someone better and different and improve yourself? Right? So what else is there? What other ways to approach it is there?
Yeah, I like so we've got it's something Quincy told me years ago. It's the effort to return ratio.
Yep.
Least amount of effort, highest amount of return. Or do you want a challenge in which you take your strengths and you grow into this, you continue to grow as a human being?
Sure.
And you go through this entrepreneurial challenge, and or is it, how do I maximize every dollar made by every minute spent, but it requires that I spend a massive amount of time to get that return, right? So I don't know. I think there's a lot of folks out here who read the blogs, listen to the podcasts, listen to radio shows like this to figure out how to maximize their returns with the limited amount of resources. Meaning most people are not just going to up and quit their jobs, right?
Right.
I mean, that's a pretty small group. Really, most people, what they're looking for is, I've got this finite amount of resources. How do I deploy these in such a way that give me the maximum amount of return? So then there's really two questions after that, right? Let's say it's all true. We believe all this stuff is true.
Right.
And the underlying assumption is, how do I take the limited amount of resources I have now and maximize those returns? Well, what are those limited resources? That's the next two questions, right? Or the next question that gives you two results.
Three of them, right? Time, capital,
right? Money,
and knowledge.
That's correct. And knowledge. Can I really do this? Do I have the skill set and the knowledge to be able to do it? So now you start going, okay, well, maybe I can be a day trading guy. Like, well, I kind of like to, I'm working during the day, but even when I'm not working, I'm going on vacation. Do I have to watch the stuff all the time? So maybe the day trading thing is out for me, right?
Yeah, I think that's out.
I think the other challenges you're going to find in that day trading kind of thing is the tax treatment of those.
Ooh.
Because that is absolutely earned income, right?
Right.
I mean, so you've got the tax treatment of those things. So then what's the next thing? Should I be wholesaling and flipping houses? Because should I do the HGTV thing? I mean, it's going to be a lot of fun. You got to have this really ugly house.
No, we broke that down already.
It's going to be...
No, there's lots of risk and lots of time suck.
Yeah. It's a big... I'm just going to I'm going to get mailbox money from flipping houses, and I can tell you, owning those companies, that's not the case. No. We got close to it, but that's definitely not the case. So it's going to take a lot of time. So what is else out there? Oh, Bitcoin. I can invest in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Or
can I still short it? Because that's the trend, right?
Yeah, you should be able to short as of December year before last. That's when I said it was going to crash. Because then you could short it, because I want to say, who is it that opened up the options? Or somebody, was it CBOE that opened up the options trade? So yeah, now you can do Bitcoin. I guess if I would just get a really good heroin addiction before I get into Bitcoin. I think it would be a lot better for you long term. I just can't imagine.
I'm going to say the marijuana oil is probably a better play than Bitcoin. Right?
Oh, the CBD oil. Yeah, that's like my Facebook. Between politics and CBD oil, I've been blocking people like a banshee. I'm like, I could pick out the failed real estate investors by what's hot in that market cycle. So when it was Bitcoin, I'm like, none of you guys are making any money. I can tell. None of you guys are making money in real estate because you were all in real estate before. Now you're selling like Bitcoin, whatever. And then crypto. We're all into crypto. Right. And then of course the CBD oil thing is hot, and I'm like,
that's really hot. Yeah.
I don't know if any of you guys are making any money in real estate. Now we're doing CBD oil, whatever. So boop, blocking all those people. So I guess you could do that, right? You could open up a CBD oil shop or something. Do you ingest or do you like rub it on stuff?
I think you rub it on stuff.
Do you? I don't know how it all works.
In your Tesla.
In your Tesla. Yeah, that's right. There you go. Yeah, that must have been what they were doing with autopilot on, right? Testing out the topical subdermal treatment.
I think it's I don't know. I don't know if I drop it under your tongue. Remember that stuff?
Put it in your eye or something?
I don't know. I have no idea.
So they're gonna have I bet they'll have CBD oil hair stuff so you can get it through your scalp.
I don't know, but I'm getting opportunities to invest in the marijuana and there's a I forget what the name of the club. What it's essentially it's weed and real estate, Los Angeles.
Oh, sweet!
And I'm like, wow.
I bet their networking events are pretty fun.
I bet they are, yeah. I'm sure they are.
I do think there's a play in that whole marijuana thing, but the problem is that once they make it legal, Philip Morris is going to be so all
It's
over
already
that.
starting, yeah.
Yeah, they're already 10 years ahead of everybody else once it finally becomes legal.
Yeah, because of a distribution system.
That's right. Yeah. So, all right. So you could do that. You could have a multi-level marketing, network marketing business around CBD oil, and that's going to take a lot of time.
Yeah.
Right. So any of those network
It's a
marketing
lot of living rooms.
So yeah, it's a lot of presenting. Can you make a lot of money in it doing that? Absolutely. What else is out there that you could invest in, that you could invest your time, money, and knowledge in to earn some kind of return? Assuming all this stuff is true. I'm trying. That's really just about it, right?
Collectibles nonsense still out there.
What do you mean, like buying Beanie Babies?
Like, Lionel trains and
oh yeah,
that world is still out there.
Oh yeah, I bet. You can do cars. I know all that works.
Cars, there you go.
I know the car thing works.
20-year-old cars, there you go.
20-year-old Hondas, man. Yep. I'm telling you, it works. Toyotas and all that. It totally works. You just got to know what you're doing. But it is going to take a lot of time.
Art.
I can tell you.
Buy art.
You could buy art.
All right. Cattle. You can invest in cattle.
Yeah, if you're a cattle guy.
Livestock semen.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big thing.
Yeah. What else?
Coins, stamps.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of all the things you can invest in with your IRA.
Oh, yeah. All the stuff that you can't, right? You can't invest in anything. Wine. Wine is a big one. There's really no rare beer out there yet, but that's coming. So there's all this stuff you get, and assuming it all works and it all makes money, I think here's the challenge you run into. The vast majority of it is going to take a massive amount of time or money.
Right.
And especially time. Because I'll tell you what, there's no amount of time that you're ever going to get back. So you better really enjoy it, right?
It's a loss. It's a loss leader every single time, right?
Yeah, you really better enjoy, selling that CBD oil.
Doing 2 living rooms a night, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you better really enjoy that.
Being at the Hilton Garden Inn on Tuesday night.
You better really enjoy, walking around in stinky, nasty houses. Because if you're flipping them, that's exactly what's going to happen. When we get back from the break, we're going to talk about if it's all true, what's the best return on time versus investment. It's Jason Bible, Robert Orfino, Texas Real Estate Radio Network.
2-minute break.
How many minutes?
It's a 2-minute, right?
2 minutes?
2 minutes. Yeah.
I'm not quite ready for a Monday yet. I think I stayed up a little too. It was kind of a rough weekend. I wasn't feeling great. Feeling better, but I wasn't feeling great.
We did our little Airbnb class.
Oh, I popped in for a little bit of that.
I saw you. Yeah. What'd you think?
That was great.
Yeah.
What time did you finish?
2:30, 2:15.
Okay. I like the 20-minute lunch or whatever it is. I'm like, you don't have to do an hour and a half for lunch, right? You're sitting there in your living room, make you a little sandwich and sit down.
That's it. Yeah. It's a perfect little format. I think the next one I'm going to do is the business formula for real estate investors and real estate investing.
Okay, 1 minute. There you go. There's your heroin addiction.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah, well,
I'd rather get on that
Gave
than
off
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin and went to heroin.
that's pretty funny.
You're not in the shot, by the way.
Okay, 10
Camera.
seconds.
Oh, I keep
10
thinking
seconds.
There we go. There we go. All right. That's better. Oh, I guess we better put these on, huh? Welcome back. Jason Bible, Robert Orfino, Texas Real Estate Radio Network. Today is Motivation Monday, and we are talking about what if it's all true? Like all the stuff you read on the blogs, everything you hear in your podcast, everything on this radio station, it's all true. You can trade Bitcoin, you can be a day trader, you can be a CBD oil sales rep for the newest multi-level marketing thing. You can be you can do all this stuff. It all works. So what's the next step? You got to pick something, right? And what are the metrics in which we pick something, right? How much time is it going to take? How much money is it going to take? And do I have the knowledge to be able to go out there and do it? The one I like to look at is what I'm about to do repeatable?
Oh, very good.
So if someone is like such a genius at this and they're like, let me teach you. If Albert Einstein came out and said, let me teach you physics, I'd say, I'd really appreciate that, Al, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure I've got your same.
You would go.
I'd go.
For sure go, but you also understand that you're dealing with a different mind. Right?
Yeah, we're dealing with a mind there that's a little bit more advanced than my own. So at that point, you're kind of like, okay, well, I'm probably not going to be a world-renowned physicist, right? He's, Al's not running around the countryside selling a $9.97 course on how to be a world-renowned physicist. So now you start asking some other questions. Okay, assuming this is all true, then what do I have the time, money, and skill set or the knowledge to be able to convert that into an actual investment? And whenever I do this calculation, I'm also somewhat biased here, it always ends up at real estate.
Yeah.
As I can tell you, the day trading thing, it doesn't make any sense. The Bitcoin crypto nonsense, the MLM, all this stuff you start looking at, it takes too much time or too much money, or it requires a level of knowledge that just takes too much time to acquire, right?
Sure.
When I listen to the guys at Bloomberg and they've been doing this for 30 years and their undergraduate degrees from Chicago out of the quant program. I mean, it's like that. Yeah, of course they know what they're doing, right? But here you are, you're, Joe Sixpack, right? Or, and what exactly are you going to do, right? You're an engineer by trade, you're a business developer, you're whatever. And then you're trying to figure out, okay, I got some capital here, saved a little bit of money, would like to see above market rates of return. So where do I get that? And the problem is it all requires special time or special knowledge.
It's the knowledge.
And that's where it becomes really challenging.
Because in this town, there are folks who will laugh at real estate, right?
Yeah.
And say, you should see what I'm doing my wells up in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Right? Or you should see this the mineral rights I have for this part of the country, this part of the world, right?
Yeah.
And I invested in this special company that does, has a new technology on bits, right? On drill bits. And because of that knowledge in that world, they're doing very, very well. And I have met probably 3, it's not a lot, but I've met 3 private investors who've said, hey, I want to do the first position loans, but I'm putting all my money in this thing.
Yeah, and you're like, well, you should, because you've got 30 years experience in oil and gas. Yep. Yeah, I got a buddy of mine that he does, his specialty is R&D in oil and gas. And I won't tell you what firm he works for because there's like 10 guys in this company. And so he said they literally sit around all day for, 60 hours a week, and they're coming up with technologies that they will use 25 years from now.
Right.
Like his job is completely insulated from, the whims of the oil market. And a guy like that, if he came to me and said, Jason, we got this really great idea. I got a buddy of mine that's starting a company and they're doing X, Y, and Z. Would you want to invest? And I'm like, I don't know. Explain it to me. But he's a guy that's got 20 years experience in all this stuff. And engineering background. He's got a massive knowledge background. And that's his arbitrage, right? Because nobody else is going to understand that. So then you start looking at healthcare is another great example, the medical field.
Yep.
I spent most of my career in the medical field. And, if you've got that specialized knowledge to invest in the next pharmaceutical startup, great. Pray it just makes through the FDA, right? So when you start looking at the marketplace, you're like, yeah, there's these guys, they're killing it in oil and gas, they're killing it in healthcare and all. And yeah, they are. But they've got a massive amount of experience to say, you know what, I'm willing to bet on this.
Right.
And it is a bet at that point. So then you're like, okay, well, I don't have that specialized knowledge, and I'm not going to take a $9.97 weekend course on how to identify the next, lupus drug. It just... We've got it's a little too challenging. So, or the next, cancer, drug. So,
oh my God, can you imagine that?
Yeah, that's how ridiculous these little classes are, right? $9.97. I'm going to show you how to become a millionaire in real estate in a weekend. It's like it's not Nothing in life is that simple. It takes time. But the business model is quite simple.
Sure.
It's not easy, but the business model is
So
simple.
you can absolutely see why people just put their money in the stock market.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's usually somebody there who, I love that commercial. I forget the investing firm with the commercial with the guy who's a DJ.
Oh,
He
yeah.
puts his hair in a ponytail and
Yeah.
he's like, "Would you take stock advice from me?" He's like, "Yeah, I think you would." It's like, "I'm a DJ, right?"
Yeah.
So, there's plenty of those guys out there. It's
Yeah.
like, I'm doing financial services now. Wait. What are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm doing financial services now. What happened at the UPS driver? Yeah, I don't want to do that anymore. I'm going to go get my schedule and take my test and get to all those. Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah.
And so they meet with people that they think that they trust,
Mm-hmm.
and they put money in the stock market. And they don't really keep. And, I'll tell you who does a fantastic analysis. That's Tom, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Tom just rips the market up and just says, "Hey, this is the real returns and how much money is actually out there." And when he breaks down the formula for how much money is actually invested into Apple.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's just nowhere else for that money to go to.
The ETFs are really destroying the marketplace.
Right. And when I heard him do that for the first time, I was like, wow, that's very powerful. 20 minutes he just did there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what it comes down to is because people don't have the knowledge, they're just putting that money into something that is a sort of low entry of knowledge, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, look at our fund. We've got Apple. We've got Amazon. We've got Tesla.
We have all these products that you use every single day.
Right. So put your money in here.
Yep.
And the market went up 25% last year, but hey, you only made 7. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
You still had a good year.
So you've got all these options here, right? Or you can kind of follow the herd. We need a good little stock market hiccup because that usually wakes folks up a little bit. Whoa, wait a second. What do you mean Amazon doesn't go up forever and ever? Although I really enjoy, by the way.
Hold on. Just listen to what you just said there.
Yeah,
it's like, I want the economy to go get thrown off kilter for a few
hold on
weeks.
a second. This is a big misnomer. The stock market's not the economy.
Okay, people's investments.
Stock market's not the economy. No, the best thing that can happen to a lot of people is a little chaos. A little chaos is good for you.
And I'll tell you, and we'll on the back half of this show, we really need to talk about the difference between investing and
entrepreneurs.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's really where we're headed here.
So I think, we can go ahead head there now. I think that's the big challenge. So what are you going to be? Are you going to be an investor or are you going to be an entrepreneur? Because I can tell you being a day trader is really not either one of those. That's more the speculator, right? I'm going to go pick something and I'm going to go, no whammies. Boom.
Right.
I'm like, I would literally go to Vegas and sports bet over doing some of the stuff that some of these people are doing in day trading. It doesn't make any sense to me. So you've got to decide at some point, are you going to be an investor or an entrepreneur? I can tell you for me, I like the investing side a lot more than the entrepreneur side. Although we're doing some entrepreneurial stuff here.
Yep.
But the investing side is where all the money is really made. And it's made by a little bit of knowledge.
Definitely need a little bit of knowledge, yeah.
It doesn't take a massive amount of knowledge.
No, you probably need more knowledge than time.
That's true.
Yep.
That's true. When we get back from the break, we'll talk more about being an entrepreneur, being an investor. Jason Bible, Robert Orfino, Texas Real Estate Radio Network.
4-minute break.
All right.
Get in touch with Salem Surround. We take the mysteries of digital marketing off your shoulders and deliver customers so you can run your business. To compete in today's business world, you must utilize every digital marketing tool possible. But who has the time to research, learn, and access all the options? Our team at Salem Surround is the expertise to manage all your digital marketing under one roof. It's easy, and there's no heavy lifting. Get started with a free evaluation of your digital presence.
All right, folks, tonight we've got a webinar, and I think we've almost got 200 people signed up for it. It's our first multifamily deal. I'm going to talk about how we found the deal. Actually, I'm going to start with how the marketplace has changed and why I'm in multifamily now. And then I'm going to share with you how we found the deal, our preliminary numbers on the deal. I think a rehab on this particular property starts this week because it rained really the last 2 weeks. And we'll just share with you guys all the numbers. If you go to my Facebook page, you can sign up for the webinar there.
Let's see how we doing.
It's going to be a nice day outside.
Yep. We get to watch the highway run by.
So tomorrow, I'm going to drive up to Dallas. Then I host the Propelio event.
Great. Oh, the big event tomorrow night?
Yeah, big events tomorrow night. And then that morning, Kaylee and I are going to be shooting for the show. Then I'm going to the Quest Room.
Wednesday, you'll be in the Quest Room.
Wednesday, I'll be in the Quest Room.
Got it. Then you're coming home?
Then I'll come home after that. Assuming we don't have any other shows to shoot.
Are you staying Airbnb up there?
I haven't picked one yet, but I'm thinking about it. I'll do Airbnb or stay at Nilo. It's such a cool hotel.
Yeah, I know. As much as I'm an Airbnb guy, there's sometimes
some of those cool kind
of really good hotels with a steam room.
This hotel's got a rooftop bar and pool that overlooks downtown Dallas.
Nice.
Wait a minute. That's in the south part of Dallas, sort of.
It's in Deep Ellum, yeah.
Yeah. I've been to that pool.
It's pretty awesome.
I've been to that bar.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
So with some folks from Dallas, so where are you going to be again?
I'm going to be at the Propelio quarterly event, which is in Grapevine. Yeah,
but you're not shooting the show that day? You got to go back up to Dallas again
1 minute.
This month? Yeah, I got to go the following week. Okay. I'll be up there for the Quest thing. Now, I can't do the Wednesday show. I'll still be up there, but I can do the Tuesday show.
All right, so I got to be creative on Wednesday?
Yeah.
All right.
Got to make something up. You got to read your email before the show and then talk about that for an hour.
Yep. The rules of chess. Let's open it up.
Ten seconds.
Welcome back. Jason Bible, Robert Orfino, Texas Real Estate Radio Network. Today we're talking about Motivation Monday. And the theme is, what if it's all true?
Yep.
So all the stuff you hear about investing and making money is completely true. We're trying to figure out which one do we pick.
I'm trying to think outside of my knowledge base, and it's still coming back to real estate.
Yeah, I just don't. It's tough. Real estate it's a very simple business to understand.
Yeah.
We find an asset that is below market value. Now that is the hardest part. I'll tell you right now, that is the hardest part of this whole thing. But even then, it's not really that hard. It's really not.
Once you understand the process, it becomes numbers, right?
Yeah, it's just a numbers game. So you make an offer on a property, probably make 10 offers, get one accepted. So you make 10 offers, you get one accepted. You buy this thing, it's got anywhere between 20 and 30% equity in it.
Sure.
And then you got to decide, what are we going to do?
20 is fairly easy.
The 20 is not a stretch. So you buy this thing and you got to get it rehabbed.
Yep.
Got to get it fixed up. You're going to hire assuming you do that, I mean, there's some properties we bought that didn't require any rehab. We just turned around, bought them, and
good to go.
We're off.
Got one right now.
We bought one that's cash flowing day one.
Yep, $7,000 a month.
Yeah, bringing in that cash day one. So that's a hard one to screw up.
It is.
So then you start thinking, let's go find more of those.
Right, let's go.
Let's go. I like those.
Well, that's easy.
That's why I like there's certain parts of multifamily that make it a lot more fun. You know, you go in and you buy this thing and go, we don't have to kill ourselves getting this thing rehabbed as quickly as humanly possible.
Still can't find a good plumber here.
Yeah, the plumbers are
reasonably priced, knows what they're doing.
Yeah, that is one of the challenges. So speaking of which, I'm doing a webinar tonight on My
We got
transition
one or two
from
people signed up.
we got a couple. I think we're getting close to 200 folks that are signed up. So I'm doing a webinar tonight. My transition from single family to multifamily. 100 single family doors to 100 multifamily doors in a year. And if you would like to be a part of that webinar, send Rob a text 281-401-9008.
Very good. Yeah.
281-401-9008. Just shoot him a text and say webinar, and we will get you a link to tonight's webinar. But we'll probably end up having 200 people registered, probably 100 folks that show up.
Mm-hmm.
So
About half, yeah.
Yeah, about half end up showing up at these webinars.
Just numbers.
Just numbers, yep. We got to talk to 20,000 people to create 200 millionaires. That's the number. I was thinking about that number this weekend.
That is the number.
It's so funny to me. We will have in a week. I know we have over 100,000 people that'll listen to the radio show in a week, and we're looking for 20,000 that really listen.
How many listen to in a week?
Oh, easily 100,000.
No.
Oh yeah.
They're listening to me?
Yeah, they're listening to
you.
you.
I'm a knucklehead. What are you listening to me for? Are you kidding me?
I never shared with you the numbers, huh?
Oh my God, really? No. Come
Friday's
on.
a crazy day on the radio.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to dress better now.
I know.
Jeez.
So then we'll distill it down to 20,000 people that'll watch, like our Facebook Lives.
1 in 5 have some sort of interest level, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll get down to 200 folks actually go through our webinar.
Absolutely.
They sign up for our class. Yep. They end up in our mastermind. They start buying real estate. Probably through Mr. Texas Real Estate, right?
Hopefully.
Through our brokerage. So
hopefully.
That's what it is. It's amazing.
We are in business. We're not hiding that, right? We're not a nonprofit.
Yeah, this isn't a free thing.
Yep.
It's free for now.
So it keeps coming back to real estate, Jason, and then it comes down to what do you want to do in real estate, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, so this is sort of Mindset Motivation Monday, and, there are 3 aspects of your life. There's your professional,
yep.
There's your health, and then there's your relationships, right? Those are the big 3. And everyone on New Year's wants to make all 3 better, right? That's right. The resolutions, but they're really 3. And I can watch, and I know personally that it is very hard to balance all 3.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? This balanced life and all this stuff, it's really, really hard. Mm-hmm. And if you can just do 2, mm-hmm. You should be feeling pretty good about yourself. And a lot of people just focus on 1.
Yeah.
Right? And usually the relationships and those always drop.
Mm-hmm.
This is why people come in and out of your sphere. They're gone. They're focusing on something else, right? Mm-hmm. And this is why people get divorced and why relationships end and boyfriends mm-hmm. and girlfriends go their own way, because you start focusing on one of the other 2 or the other 2.
Right.
There's some guys in this town we know that focus for sure are very, very healthy dudes, right? Mm-hmm. And may not have the best real estate business or have a really, really good real estate business that aren't so healthy.
Yeah.
Right? And so then you think about, what does that mean? What's Robert talking about? I'm talking about the guy who gets up at 6 a.m, gets in his truck, and starts working.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And it's got people making cold calls and appointments and all that other stuff and running around. And it could be now the 4th component is wealth, knowledge, time, and health. Mm-hmm. Because I see a lot of, including myself, I see a lot of people take that slide. And so now we really got to think about it. Mm-hmm. And I think what we said before the break is, do you want to be an entrepreneur or do you want to be an investor? Mm-hmm. 2 different things, right? And people confuse the others. And the people that have the ability to invest, like get a little romanticized on that entrepreneur side, like I'm going to quit my job. This is going to be
being
great.
An entrepreneur is deceptively attractive.
It's horrible. It's horrible. I know it's attractive to people, but don't do it, right? Yeah. I mean, I talk to folks all day long. It's like, yeah, I got a 6-figure job. My wife is a nurse or a teacher. We're doing really well. I've got $500,000 to invest, thinking about starting to flip houses. And I'm like, oh my God, no, don't do that.
You're just bored.
Right.
That's really what it is. You're just bored.
Right. And so that it becomes blurred, and people think they want to be entrepreneurs when they should just be straight up investors. And the people that want to be who are entrepreneurs want to be all of a sudden these big time investors, mm-hmm. right? And so there's that blending and that mixing, and it gets a little scary. I think people can lose sight of their goals mm-hmm. and sight of who they are in the middle of all that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I can tell you after going through both tracks, I really like the investing side a lot more. I mean, the entrepreneur stuff is fun. I would like to do an entrepreneur thing as a consultant to other entrepreneurs. Hey, you might want to consider doing this. Let me show you how this marketing strategy works. But aside
You
from,
and everyone else.
well, that's true.
Because that's the
Yeah, but
internet.
actually-
The internet is filled with, let me show you how to do marketing to become a millionaire, right?
Yeah, but mine actually works.
That is true. Yeah, that is absolutely true. But the problem is you're gonna be in a very crowded space.
Right, that's true. But the investing side is very attractive.
Very.
I really like that. We get back from the break. We'll talk about the mindset it takes to be an entrepreneur versus an investor. Jason Bible, Robert Orfino, Texas Real Estate Radio Network.
2-minute break.
We really got to get the matrix on who's watching us,
Mm-hmm.
and then because even at the
Yeah.
right, they're at 70 cents a pop.
Yeah.
Hey, why don't you spend 30 cents a pop on me and I get you 3,000? Right?
Yeah.
Really got to sort of put that in a nice little chart.
Well, here's the other way I like to look at it too: is how many people are actually listening to your message?
Right.
Yeah, there could be 1,000 people there, but they're talking to you for 5 minutes.
Right. Or not.
Or not.
Talking to
Yeah,
all, right?
most of them are, right?
When I sit at that little bar stool and just watch that flow.
Well, it was the same email I sent to Scott. Hey, man, are you going to do this event? And he's like, I don't know, because it's the same problem, right? You can have 20,000 people there, but it's like, I'm not talking to 20,000 people. Even when I'm on stage and you want my CTA to look like this instead of what it needs to be,
Yep.
that's a problem. So
1 minute.
I think the best thing we could do is, here's how you find us on the Texas Real Estate Radio Network, like a little card, just hand that out.
Yep.
And then play beer pong in the back.
Right. That's why radio stations did bumper stickers forever.
Yeah. Oh, I got some great sticker ideas.
There we go. We can just do stickers. Put them on your computer, put them on your car.
I noticed everybody liked the beer pong idea Wednesday at lunch. They were like, really? You guys are seriously going to do that? Yeah, everyone's smiling. They're like, can we join in on that? I'm like, yeah, we'll play beer pong in the back, man. We will have the most popular table.
Ten seconds.
Welcome back. Jason Bible, Robert Orfino, Texas Real Estate Radio Network. It's Motivation Monday. Talk about what if it's all true. All the stuff you hear about investing and the different ways to make money, let's say it's all true. If you listen to the first segments of the show, we really distilled it down to the point where real estate's really kind of the best option of all those.
Even if you take the risk out of all of those things, there's still an investment in your time and your knowledge, right? You're going to have to do that. And capital, right?
Yeah.
No one's going to be playing with Bitcoin unless you got capital.
That's right.
So there's still that issue. Even if the results that they say are 100% true, you still have to do that. And then so what it comes down to is, hey, can I get into real estate? A little bit less knowledge, a little bit less time, but you still need the capital. Like we're not gonna tell people you can get in for free here. And then it really becomes: do you want to be the investor or do you want to do the investing? Right? Do you want to be the action man or do you want to be the investor man? Right? And I see people all the time. We're taking lots more meetings. Yep, just yesterday. This is a family that should be passive as much as possible. Even though the lure of being active is there, they just don't quite understand it.
Yeah.
Right? And there's a reason why we talk about the downside all the time. We're not trying to be bummers. We want you to be well aware that wholesaling is hard and flipping has major risks. Right? And is there still a risk putting your money in play? Absolutely. Right? So, but if I'm making $100,000 and my wife is making $40,000-$60,000 and I've got 2 kids here in Houston, $160,000, I'm doing very well. Right? And so I shouldn't have these fantasies about quitting my job and getting in a truck at 6 a.m. to go
The Home Depot.
Go to Home Depot and basically live on Big Macs all day, right? Because there's no time to stop.
Yeah.
When you're flipping, it's drive through heaven. You just keep driving through,
Mm-hmm.
and don't want to do that. And even if it does take you 5 years to build an empire, the first year is going to be rough. And so now, if it's all true, and I have capital, I'm doing the investing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna find someone I feel comfortable with, put money into it, or REIT, whatever. I know there's a lot of first position loan guys in this town, and I'm gonna find more of that, and that's where I'm gonna go.
Well, I mean, I can give you guys a perfect example with Rob and I. I mean, we're building this little empire right now, but that's why we have the fund.
Yeah.
Because we get deals all day. It took an inordinate amount of time and money for us to get to the point where deals now come to us. We got another pocket listing on an apartment complex.
Yeah.
Like I think that's what a lot of people don't understand. It's like, well, I'm going to go join this club. Not ours, but I'm going to go join this club out there, and all these secret apartment listing deals are going to come to me. Let me tell you right now, I'll break it down real easy for everybody. The only reason those deals come to you is because you close. That's the only reason they come to you. They don't come to you because you're a great guy and you got a great smile. They come to you because you buy their stuff. So if you're not an active investor, you never see those deals. Well, we've got 2 submarkets right now where we're like the number 1 guys. They just send them to us first.
Yeah.
Like, hey guys, y'all interested? And we look at it and go, nah, we'll pass. Or yeah, well, let's go take a look at it. But it takes a lot of time to be able to get to that point. It doesn't happen overnight. Right. So we can then pass those deals off to the folks that are in our mastermind or in our club. But the reality is that you got to be really active to be able to do that. And you have to be really active over a long period of time. So you've got to be the real estate entrepreneur. You always have to be in the marketplace, right? You can't ever stop buying.
Right.
So for us, the reality is we know where this whole thing ends for us. It's going to be all in the fund.
Yep.
We're going to have a team of people that you and I will still be getting deals.
Mm-hmm.
Then we'll just hand it over to our team and say, hey, guys, do y'all want to buy this or not? And if they don't, then we'll send it over to our Mr. Texas real estate team. We decide to buy it. We use our money from the fund, which would be our money and everybody else's money, and then we just go buy the asset. So that's where it ultimately ends. It all ends, if you're doing this right, it all ends, even if you have no money, it all ends as being an investor. That's where it all ends. Now, hopefully, yeah, if you do it right. I'm not the biggest Robert Kiyosaki fan, but this is one thing he did get right. It all ends at the investor side. And I'll tell you just for 2 reasons alone. One is the tax treatment.
For sure.
And the second one is the amount of time it takes. That's it. That the end goal of everyone's, even if you're outside of real estate, you're an oil and gas guy, you're a healthcare gal, it all ends in investing.
Yep.
You're either going to be investing in oil and gas stuff, investing in healthcare stuff, be doing things in real estate.
Sure.
We have a lot of folks that do that, where they have a specialty in one field, they do some investing in that field. A lot of times they still work there, and they also do investing in real estate because they need a little diversification in their portfolio, which is totally fine. I'm not a big diversification guy. However, if you've got a specialty in one area, I think you should invest some money in that area and do some things in real estate. But that's where this whole thing ends. So the idea that I'm going to go out and start a flipping and wholesaling business, which there's nothing wrong with that, unless your job is really, really horrible or you don't make enough money to where you can invest.
Or you're already in that business.
Oh, that's
I'm
true.
A contractor.
I'm a contractor. I'm a real estate
I'm tired
agent.
of making these other guys hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm going to start doing this myself. I'm a realtor.
Yeah.
Hey, I can get these properties all day long. Why don't I do that? That's a perfect transition.
I had a guy send me a message on Facebook this weekend, and he said, hey, man, I want to join your group. I'm like, okay, fine. And I said, what are you trying to do? He goes, well, I was a realtor in 2017. I did 150 deals, but I let my license lapse because I want to do wholesaling. I said, step 1, go reactivate your license right now. Don't even call me. Your first call Monday is reactivate that license. And you're going to go back and you're going to build that real estate business back again. Then let's talk about doing some real estate investing.
Right.
So that makes a lot of sense, right? But outside of that, it really should be holding on to these assets long term. Single family, multifamily. I mean, if you want to get into storage, that sort of thing. I saw Tiger and Erica put a post up. They just closed on another self-storage facility up in
and they did a
North
little
Texas.
RV park too, right?
Yeah, they did an RV park.
Yeah, it works.
So those things work, and they work really well. I'm liking the beach stuff, just me personally.
Loving it.
Loving the beach stuff. So
I could probably wear shorts all year round down there.
I bet you could.
Yeah, absolutely.
Except for that one cold snap a year.
That one little January,
hey, guys, it's down to 55. Everybody quick, run inside, turn the heater on.
Yeah.
So that's what you got the fire pit in the backyard for.
That is absolutely it, yeah. That's what you reverse the heat pump, right?
That's right.
Split reverse system.
So the reality is that everyone ends up as an investor. So you have a choice. Can you do that now, or do you want to go through this entire process and do that later?
And you don't. You don't want to go through that process.
No, you don't.
Trust me, for someone who's been through it and still going through it. If you have the ability and the resources, maybe you just need a little more knowledge or you need a little more capital, because it's not a lot to get started, then get into that space.
Yeah.
Right? Just get into that fourth quadrant of Robert Kiyosaki world and take advantages, right? I mean, K1s are better. Listen, 1099 is better than W-2, and K1 is better than 1099.
K1's better than all of it.
Right. And then you can get to invest in your businesses,
Mm-hmm.
which makes them even more powerful.
Actually, putting all that stuff into a Roth is even better. But you got to know how to be a good investor.
Yep.
If you guys want to be on this webinar tonight, there's already 200 folks registered. It's my transition from single family to multifamily. Just text Robert at 281-401-9008. It's 281-401-9008. And just type in webinar, and we'll shoot you a link to the webinar tonight. We'll be back here in a couple minutes.
Two minutes.
Oh my gosh.
What's up?
Hey Jason, it's so-and-so. I have another pocket deal for you.
Nice.
35 units or 22 units, actually two different contiguous. Oh yeah, send it to me, dude. Yeah, he's listening to the radio show.
Nice. Unlike direct messages, I don't know who's actually texting me.
That's true, yeah.
Right? So there's no names associated with it. So we just gotta. I get a lot of them, and I'm like,
yeah.
I don't know who you are.
We need to do it's kind of part and parcel with the whole website and all that other stuff. It's almost like we need a landing page for all this.
Yeah.
So it's like, here's the next webinar, here's our next class, here's our 2 membership levels.
We're trying.
Getting there.
1 minute.
This is loans and legal this week.
Loans and legal.
That's what we got to figure out this week. Loans and legal. And a couple more webinars popping up.
Oh, people texting you?
Yeah.
Good.
10 seconds.
Anyone still watching, give us some likes and loves and share, please. Welcome back, everyone. This is Robert, my partner Jason here. This is the Texas Real Estate Radio Network. This is, what do we call it? Mindset Monday or Motivation Monday?
I call it Motivation Monday.
Motivation Monday. Okay.
I just got sent another pocket listing via text message.
That's motivating.
That's motivating. Very motivating. Said, hey, man, hope to see you at the Redneck Country Club Wednesday night. So if you guys want to go to the big investor meeting, it's a free meeting Wednesday night, Redneck Country Club. I will be there hopefully on time. If not, because I'll be just getting in from Dallas. If you see me in the corner with a haggard look, it means I really enjoyed traffic on the way down here. We may have to have a conversation with Surf Air depending on how often we're up in Dallas and San Antonio.
If they would go to Corpus, I'd buy them in a second.
Yeah. We can talk to the guys over there.
But they don't.
It was a great service when we were using it there.
Yeah.
Just walk up, jump on the plane, land, come back. The truck is sitting there, got the keys in it, sitting right next to the terminal there. got the keys in, AC's on, you just jump in and take off. It is so the way to travel. You get so spoiled with private travel. It's not even funny.
So I don't believe in regret. I'm one of those guys. If you're kind of happy where you are, there's no such thing as regret.
Okay.
Right? Because everything in your life puts you right here, right now.
Oh, there's some truth to that.
And if you're feeling good about moving forward, that's the Eastern philosophy. Everything happens for a reason. I'm here. This is it. Right? So there's no regret. I can't regret girls, deals, partners, none of that. There's no regret there.
Yeah.
I'm here now. I'm happy. I'm good. Now, if you're miserable, then yeah, I can see it. But I'm looking back. I'm just thinking here in my mind, if I would go all the way back to 1996, 97, and I say to myself, don't quit this job.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep investing.
Mm.
Like start becoming a landlord. I probably would.
Probably would what?
I would not take this entrepreneurial journey.
Oh, yeah, if you knew. Well, knowing what you know now.
Knowing what I know now, I would just stay. I had two great jobs. I worked for Costco, and I was going to be making $130,000 a year there. All kinds of benefits, stock options. Could have easily went out there and bought 4 houses a year. No problem. And then later on, I had a great consultancy. I was making another $100,000 a year, and everything in my life was a business expense. Right? I probably would have just I should have just bought property. I would have done very, very well. And so looking back, and I sit down with people, I'm like, what do you want to do? It's like, I wanted to be a wholesaler. I'm like,
no, you don't.
Do you have a W-2 job? Yeah, you don't want to do it. Right? If you say, no, I'm unemployed, okay, well, that's fine. Hey, you should go see AC.
Yeah.
You should go see these other guys that run these bird dogs. Right? Go work with these other guys over here and become a bird dog and work your butt off and figure out the business. But if you have a job, man, this is not something you want to throw away for wholesaling and flipping.
No. If you guys want to get in contact with us, best way to do it is send Rob a text, 281-401-9008, 281-401-9008. We got a webinar tonight, single family and multifamily. I'll see you guys there.